Hello everybody, Damien from Flowforge here. Today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on Thunderbird, why you might want to use it, why you might want to switch from Gmail or Outlook or whatever you're using currently to Thunderbird. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. So Thunderbird is free open source software and it's an email client. And an email client is basically something that allows you to interact with the whole email online protocols, right? So there's all these things going on underneath the hood as to how email works, and Thunderbird lets you interact with that in a visual way as a GUI. Some ones that people use are Gmail, which you use in your browser, typically Outlook.com, that's Microsoft's. Proton is another one that people really like. Proton seems pretty good to me. My problem with all of these is that they're a little bit too proprietary for my liking. I'm very much into the digital sovereignty, which if you don't know what that is, it's the idea that you are the one who's in control over the applications that you use and the data, your data. Basically, you own your data, and other people aren't selling it, they're not collecting it, shipping it off. And it's also, instead of having things managed by other people, you want to be the one managing it. And that sounds like it could be a little overwhelming, right? But it really isn't in practice. It's just you get something working and then it's yours and it works exactly the way that you want it, not the way that the company who sold it to you or is selling your data in order to have you be able to use it for free, is forcing you to use it. So that's why I love free open source software. That's what it's about, digital sovereignty. I want to be in control of my digital environment. I don't want my digital environment to be in control of me. And so Thunderbird is a great tool for this, where you can basically reclaim your email from that. Now, Thunderbird also has many features that make it just a great email client. It's better than Gmail because the filters are much more customizable, which means that, if you're using Gmail or Outlook or something, you're going to get all these random emails, and it's so overwhelming, especially if you have ADHD. It's like, oh my gosh, here I go through my 500 emails. Then it's like so many of them are just so much random junk, and then you also don't want to just have everything sent to the junk folder. Like, there's some things that are very important where it's like you don't want that to wind up in junk, or you don't want that to wind up grouped over here, or you want it flagged as important. Well, Thunderbird is going to help you actually achieve that with the filters. They're very in-depth, and they're also simple, which is why I really like them. So enough talking about it, let's just do it. Thunderbird. Now, the neat thing about Thunderbird is it's also sort of a client for everything. Like, you can kind of think about it as something that's trying to replace the Google suite of apps. So, it has a calendar, it has a to-do list, has tasks. And another really great thing about it is that it has extensions. You can see here I was changing my theme. So you have all these extensions that add to the utility of Thunderbird, and you can basically make this email client do whatever you want with your emails. You can set up scripting, integrate this with other tools to have automations for your emails so you don't have to reply to everything. It just gives you so much more control, and that's what I want. I want control, and I want my data to be mine. This allows for this. Productivity is a personal thing. Everybody's going to build their own productivity system. If you don't have productivity systems, like, you need to make them in order to actually move forward and be productive. Productivity systems are like an asset that you build up, right? Like, the more of them you have, the more they just pay you off in saving you time and money, and effort drained is money gained, because effort drained is time saved, and time is money. So effort drained is money gained. You want things to be as automatic and simple as possible. it doesn't matter if it takes you an hour or 2 hours or 4 hours to set up. If it shaves off 30 seconds and you use it over the course of a year, you're going to get your time back and much more. And so that's why it's so valuable and important to make these productivity systems that are going to last. And that's another nice thing about Thunderbird, is since it's a free open source software, it's like, you know, that the developers, because they care about you and they're not just out for your money, they're not going to suddenly change everything and like screw things up for you, which is the problem that people are having with Microsoft right now. A lot of businesses have to stop using Microsoft because they're forcing a lot of changes and trying to get people to use Windows 11. And if they switch, it's like all of their infrastructure falls apart. And you're not going to have that problem with this. This is stable. This is safe. You can use it for a long time, but because of the extensions, it's also going to still be able to evolve with you. So that's why I like Thunderbird. Let's hop into it. I don't use the calendar. I have thought about it, and I probably will switch to it. Right now I'm using the Google Suite for the calendar. I am trying to de-Google. Another nice thing about Thunderbird is that you can also save your emails locally, which is really good if you want to self-host your own email service, because, you know, most of you are probably using Google to host your email service, but you can, if you want to take digital sovereignty even further, you can self-host your own email service, and you can make it so that you are the one managing your email service entirely, which is obviously going to pull you out of the pool of a bunch of like bots and scammers. And like, basically you can disconnect from the internet and say, this is my email, like this is how you have to address me, basically. It's the difference between living in a crowded city where your landlord is like breathing down your neck and there's like rules and regulations constantly changing in the city about like the home codes and stuff, versus like living off grid and you're just like, you are in control of your property, right? And that's kind of what this is about. To set up a filter, you're gonna want to open up the menu here, which is hidden by default, and you have to click up here, right click, and then, or left click, and then you hit menu bar, and then you can go to tools, and you're gonna want to click on message filters here. And now, as you can see, I have some open here, and it looks like these two are not enabled, and I remember why. It's because I have them set to a folder that doesn't exist. But so this is my go away one. I recommend you make one of these. And this one, if you look in here, it's literally just a list of emails that I've gone through. Most of them are from LinkedIn, where it's like just random garbage. And it's like, why are you sending me this? I do not care. And it's like distractions, just notifications, things like that. It's like, this doesn't need to be in my email. My email should be for like very serious things that I have to do, or obviously you need to verify sometimes, but the verify doesn't need to be right in your face. Like, you can click through something to get there, so it's not like you're just flooded with all this stuff, right? And so this is my recommendation. You make one that's just for dealing with everything that's random. I would set it to this because you don't want to be manually running it often. That'd be kind of annoying. I mean, this is pretty intuitive. Like, you can pretty much just figure out exactly what all this does by looking at it, but let's make one. Like, here's this Google AI Studio. Do I need Google AI Studio to be messaging me on my email? No, I absolutely do not. I do not care. I don't know how this even got here, right? So what I do is I just copy the email address and then, you know, match any of the following. So if it's from this email address, and just means it's matching this, click up the plus sign here to add a new filter, and then we'll just put this in here, Google AI Studios, a reply, hit OK, and then if you want to, you can go ahead and run now. Boom, it's no longer there. Isn't that awesome? And you don't have to deal with it, and it just goes to the trash now. I'll show you one more just so you kind of get the idea. That's that filter. I have this one set up, all my verifications to this one, which it looks like I have something out of priority, so I'll show you that real quick. Yeah, it looks like these two I didn't set up properly, so let's set them up properly then. So we want to change this move to where we actually want them to go. And all my bills stuff, I want to go to bills, obviously. So I do there. Be sure to make sure you check and you're not putting important information on your local files if you don't have your own security set up. But if somebody were to get on your computer and then look through your local files and you have important email information there, things like verifications, like auth tokens, things like that, then that would be bad. So my recommendation is to have everything up on this top part is managed by the Thunderbird servers. So if you're not doing your own self-hosting, then just have them manage it because it's much more safe. You don't want to have important information just sitting on your machine where people can get it, unless you've done the things necessary in order to keep that information secure. So now all of my billing stuff should go here. I just had to switch those over because they were on a local folder that I deleted. David from Calendly, I don't really ever want to hear anything from him. So we're going to copy this email address, add it to the go away one. Then you want to do run now, and it applied all of it. We'll call this one business payments. So you can have it search by subject or from or body, contains, these are all your options there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do from, because I know that everything from Stripe, even if it's not necessarily a payment, I know it's important, probably. Well, I say that, and then look, I got an ad here. Right now, I'm just hiding somebody's email address, but like, this is one that I would actually want to have put in a separate folder where I see something pop up in that folder and I say, oh, that's important. That's about payment information for the business. Then what I can do is just put pay in here. And my recommendation is don't put like the full word, because sometimes like for your verify one, if you're trying to get everything that has verify or authorization put in, you could put AUT or you could put like VER that way. So you have verify and verification are both covered by it, or VERI would probably work better. That's something to think about as you're setting up these filters. But this one has pay in it. That's good. If I wanted to be more strict about this, I could set it up so that it's like multiple filters and it has to match all of them for it to go in. I'm just going to set it for this. I'm not even adding another one, so it's unnecessary. For the target folder, I actually don't have one yet, so we're going to set that up. Do that just by right-clicking on the root directory here. Create a new folder. We'll call it business payments. And then we can set this up. And we can choose business payments. Okie dokie. Set. We can run now. Okay, so I was being silly. That's what I did wrong. I had it set to from, and it should be set to subject line. So now anything that has pay in the subject line should get sent over. Let's run the filter real quick, see if it works. Yep, there we go. So now any payments from Stripe, they're going to wind up in that folder, or if I get something from PayPal, it'll wind up in that folder. And you can get as deep with this as you want. You can set it up your way. It's going to work the way that you want it to work, and you're not going to have this massive inbox anymore. As you can see, I got like 719 messages, but my inbox is only 51 now. And before I set this up, and I'm not done setting it up, it was like over 500. Like, it was insane. And it's just crazy. Keep doing this. It takes some time, but as you get it set up the way that you want, it's a process. But then it's like, emails are easy, they're quick, they're painless, and you know that you're not being watched because you have no idea what Google is doing with your information. Like, you just don't. And the same can be said for Thunderbird. You technically don't know what they're doing with your information. However, I trust Thunderbird much, 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 much more than Google, because Google is greedy. And you already know that they sell so much of your data, so like, you have no idea. And there could also be bad actors in Google. Like, Google is a place that's what I've got for you guys today. I'm going to basically be posting videos, tutorials on how to build your own digital fortress as the days come. I'll still be doing my regular content where I talk about productivity and philosophy. But yeah, if you're interested in this journey, if you want to like learn about this and you want it to be made painless and easy for you, I do computer consulting. So you can click that link down below and I'll help you set up your workflows, help you switch to free open source software, help you reclaim your digital sovereignty. Go ahead and join the Discord. I would love to have you. I would love to have more people where it's like we're talking philosophy, talking productivity, optimizations, things that we can do, and sharing systems that work with each other. That's all I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay blessed by the best. Peace.